Sometimes you think you know someone inside and out, until they hit you with words that shatter you in an instant. That's what happened with my ex-girlfriend, Emma, the woman I shared 2 years of my life with. We met at a cozy coffee shop downtown, the same place where we had our first date. I thought she brought me there to rekindle old memories, maybe even to patch things up. But I was wrong. I was there to end it all. "He's better," she said, her voice steady, without a hint of doubt. Not kinder, not more thoughtful, just better. That single word cut through me like a blade. She didn't say it with anger or tears, but with a calm, practiced tone, as if she'd rehearsed it countless times. Sitting across from me, stirring her coffee absent-mindedly, she seemed like an actor delivering a memorized line. "I didn't want this to happen," she murmured, avoiding my gaze. "But it did," I replied, my voice barely a whisper. She nodded and added, "He makes me feel alive." Alive, as if the 2 years I poured my heart, time, and soul into her meant nothing. As if I hadn't given everything I had. It was like none of it mattered. I left that coffee shop with my heart in pieces, wandering the same streets where I once imagined a future with her. I didn't ask what better meant. Taller, funnier, wealthier. I didn't want to know, maybe because I feared I already did. Soon after, I started seeing her posts online. Emma, wrapped in the arms of a guy with a polished smile and a face straight out of a magazine. She glowed in a way I'd never seen when she was with me. It felt like I'd just been a chapter in her story, a stepping stone to something greater. I won't lie, I was wrecked. For weeks, I could barely eat. Friends tried to pull me out of my slump with beers, movies, and walks, anything to keep me from drowning in what-ifs. But when I got home, the silence was deafening. Her scent still lingered in the air. Her absence haunted her side of the bed. She didn't text or call, not even for my birthday. Eventually, I stopped expecting her to. I decided to rebuild myself, not for her, not because I thought she'd come back, but because I didn't recognize myself anymore. I started hitting the gym, took a short trip, and picked up photography again. I stopped checking her social media, even blocked her updates. I told myself that if she was happy, I needed to let her go. Slowly, I found peace in the small things. The smell of fresh coffee in the morning, a quiet walk alone, the sound of strangers' laughter on the street. I learned to enjoy my own company again, something I'd forgotten while trying to be everything for her. Then, nearly a year later, a message popped up. "Can we talk?" I stared at the screen, frozen. At first, I wanted to ignore it. I owed her nothing. But curiosity, that stubborn old friend, got the better of me. We agreed to meet at the same coffee shop, the place where it all began and ended. Emma arrived late. Her walk wasn't as confident as before. There was something fragile in her movements. Her eyes were heavy, her smile faint. "Thanks for coming," she said softly as she sat down. I just sighed, keeping my response short. "I'm not here to make excuses," she continued, stirring her tea with trembling hands. "I just needed to say this." I waited, my gaze steady, no rush in my silence. "I thought he was better," she finally said, her voice cracking. "I really believed it." I stayed quiet, watching her. He made me feel like I was living on the edge, every moment electric. But that feeling faded. It wasn't love, it was chaos. Lies, betrayal, and when I realized what I'd lost, it was too late. "You were gone." She reached for my hand, as if a single touch could bridge a year of pain. I didn't move. "I'm sorry," she said, tears streaming down her face. "I hurt you, and I know I don't deserve another chance. I was selfish. But I miss you every day. If there's even a piece of you that still feels something for me, please." Her voice broke into sobs. Part of me should have felt vindicated, maybe even triumphant. She'd left me in ruins, and now she was the one begging. But all I felt was calm, like a storm had finally passed, and I was breathing fresh air for the first time. I looked at her, not just her face, but the woman who once called me her everything, who left me for someone more thrilling, and who now sat broken, trying to reclaim something she'd destroyed. "I'm not angry anymore," I said, my voice even, "but I'm not the man you left behind either." She sobbed harder, tears falling freely. "I loved you, Emma," I continued. "I really did. For a long time, I hoped you'd come back and say it was a mistake. But now that you're here, I realize something." "What?" she whispered, her voice trembling. "I'm okay without you." Emma covered her face, her shoulders shaking, but I stayed steady. I'm glad you found your truth, I said, but I've found mine. I don't need promises or maybe this time. I just want peace, and I have it. Silence settled between us, not heavy, but final. She stood slowly, wiping her eyes with shaky hands. I wish you the best, she said, her voice hoarse. You too, I replied. Emma left the coffee shop, and this time she didn't look back. For the first time since she walked away, I didn't watch her go. I finished my coffee, stepped outside, and felt free. She said he was better, but in the end, she was the one broken. And I wasn't there to pick up the pieces anymore. Have you ever had someone shatter your heart like that, and then come back when it was too late?